Alright, you goddamn pigeons. Bunch of vultures. You know, I think everybody knows that something's going on, or things are going on in the world. Things change real quick. If anybody knows what a false flag is. If you don't, I'll tell you right now. False flag is where the government creates a problem. Like, you know, the FBI, they go and give this guy a bunch of explosives. They facilitate the environment for him to do some terrorist activity. That means they call this guy, they get to know him, and then they, like, you know, hey man, oh yeah, I don't like that either. And what do you want to do about it? You should do something. And this is what they're doing. You know, fucking making somebody, a crazy person, more crazy. And then so they give him a bunch of bombs and shit like that, and then tell him, alright, now go do it. But he doesn't know they're the FBI. He thinks they're just good-willing people that are just handing out explosives. And he's going to go and try to detonate on the, you know, what was it? The Fed, of all places. I would think that would be the Fed. You know, because it's the federal institution, FDIC and all that, is not even owned by the government. It's a private-owned entity. It's a private fucking bank that has inner workings with our government. I don't even know why that is so important now, because, you know, lobbying is paying people, bribing people to do things for you. So, yeah, in the election, they want you, they give this guy all kinds of money to do these things for him if he's elected. That's bribery. So our votes are supposed to be like about, you know, what we want, what we're interested in, and you know, it's supposed to, you know, work on a common balance like that. But when you have lobbyists that are so deeply enthralled in our government, there's no real fair way to win. So, I mean, even when it comes down to things that people feel are very important, like, you know, people feel like their First Amendment rights or Second Amendment rights, you know, the right to speech and the right to stand up and say what the hell you think you should be able to say. Because if you protest, they're going to fucking bust your head. The plan has to be a little deeper than that. So if you're going to protest, you might want to, you know, it's a good idea, and it's a thing, you know, people say that they die or they fight in the war, so we have the right to protest. I mean, personally, I think that in order to get your head cracked, you should have to have done something wrong. Now, here's a perspective of the way some people think. Now, these people are on the Kool-Aid. Meaning on the Kool-Aid, they're brainwashed. They're not awake to what's going on. Because they're so used to being involved in this fear-mongering that's been going on for the last 15, 20 years. You know, like, oh, call the cops, call the cops, call the cops. I mean, there are valid reasons when you should and need to and want to and should always call the cops. But using it as an instrument to control other people. So, I mean, the cops have just, like, fucking gone crazy and started saying, oh, yeah, well, if you're not doing this, if you don't feed your kids the right food, then we'll come and arrest you. So the ultimate threat is jail in every circumstance. Even if you haven't done anything wrong. Even if you say fuck you to a cop. Or even if you speak your mind, you're going to jail. Or they'll shoot you. So, you know, they're always like this, reaching for their fucking gun. So, one thing I'd like to say is that everything that they take from someone it will be taken from them. It's, you know, karma, yin and yang. You know, you can't go around fucking people and not expect it to come back on you. And saying that, we've just gone through our last debate, stupidness. Mitt Romney walks like a duck. President Obama's got bigger ears than God. Jesus. He kind of looks funny himself. Okay, I'm not really going to get into who I'm for or anything like that, because I really give a shit about either one of them. I'm talking about the state of the world we live in today. Okay, we got, Black Jesus, or whatever fucking they were calling him, the fucking Black Messiah, which is the stupidest shit I ever heard. Oh. And then, you people that are so hooked on religion, that's another way for you to be notified that you're fucking asleep. You're on the juice. Because everything that you do is on blind faith. There's no such thing as blind faith. If you have beliefs, then let your beliefs stay in your mind and comfort yourself quietly. But, spread it to the world and everybody, we're, the same way that back in the old days that the Catholics were going around, the Catholic Crusades, they were trying to go turn countries. Turn countries of Native American, Indian, tribal people all over the world to being Catholic, because it was a way to unify and control people. So you have to take back and really think that everything that you've learned about the Bible, if you've put any thought into trying to figure out the Bible, not figuring it out but understand it, if you've ever done that, 90% of what they said is a lie. Because I'm not saying that the Bible's a lie. I'm saying that what they have told you and misled you to believe is not true. Now, I'm not going to get into that to 100 other videos, but the thing is that how it applies today. How it applies today is we're in supposedly the end days. And, a lot of what's in the Bible is coming true. But there's some things that we have not heard about because there were shit taken out of the Bible. Removed. Now, God didn't tell you to do that. God apparently told these people to write the book. And then, you're saying that God told people to remove the book from the Bible? That don't make no goddamn sense. So you can't sit there and it's a means of control. So it's from straight up and down, from the government to religion. We're running around all over the country or all over the world trying to spread democracy, pissing in everybody's face and pissing them off. Now I don't know how you could think that any of that should be justified. These people aren't doing anything to us. Muammar Gaddafi, I don't know what the hell he did that was so goddamn atrocious, but he does live in the richest country in the world. So what does that make him? Makes him he's got a little bit of world clout, so to speak. You can't just push him over. So they have to turn him into a bad guy and get rid of him. Why? Why? Because, that's what gangsters do. Gangsters will roll up and take your shit. So, just think about that. Now, we're going to move on to a couple of other issues that are current events that are happening to us today. Our stock fell today for about 200 points. Only reason I watch this is, and that's important, only reason that's important is because all these things are happening. One of these things is going to be the tipping the scale. And when the scale is tipped, then, all fucking hell's gonna break loose. It could be riots, it could be, a bunch of other stuff. But when the scale's tipped, what are you gonna do? And to sit around, I think it would be completely irresponsible and ignorant and dumb to say that, oh, I didn't know, or oh, what's going on? That's what the people that aren't paying attention, that are asleep, that are not do not have any sort of critical thinking about themselves whatsoever, are going to say, oh, poor woe is me, woe is me. You know, we've all seen this coming. We've all seen it coming, and we choose our reality. And what I mean by that is that we have TVs that constantly drizzle us with fucking bullshit. And if you've ever tried to watch anything on the news and get the story, and you haven't found the internet and all this, then you would understand that, you know, what they're telling us as lies, not the truth. They cover what they want. They cover what benefits them. So, to everybody in the world, you know, the election was more important than Japanese and Japan and Fukushima blowing up. You know, and them still selling us food from Japan. And, you know, saying it's just foreign. It's foreign. Like, it's foreign. Yeah, anyway, there's a lot to look into. Fukushima, there's a camera that's running 24/7. A live stream of Fukushima. And you can go online and look it up and watch the reactor for the last couple of days just burn and explode and blow up. Now, they've since evacuated this place. You know, the reactor, or, you know, fucking nuclear power plant, the whole fucking place, because epic levels of radiation are fucking popping out of that. Why is that important now? Well, I don't know if you've ever been to a river, and you see, you know, rivers don't always flow straight. They kind of do the spinny thing. Well, anyway, rivers are connected to the ocean. The ocean is connected to land. And Japan is connected to the Pacific Ocean. And all that air, whenever we have a storm in California, whenever we have a storm, it only comes from one direction. Or, maybe, you know, half southeast or southwest, or, you know, it comes from Alaska straight out west. You know, it'll come from that way. It comes from the ocean to the land. That's how storms come. And then they run across the land, and then some other air, sometimes, like, it'll go up through Mexico and come up through the Midwest and go straight up. And that's all that cold tropical air, or hot tropical air, collapsing on the cold air. That creates these goddamn tornadoes and shit. Anyway, the fish that we eat should all be considered contaminated. The radiation is here. They're not talking about it. It's amazing that, you know, something that could potentially kill everybody. I mean, that's what they want to happen. So, I mean, my point is that if you're not, like, informing yourself on the current events and issues and struggling to, you know, get the meat of the matter, don't look to them, because they're not going to tell you. And don't think I'm crazy because I'm the first one to say it. Because by the time you really pick it up, that, you know, there was something that I was saying that was halfway right, or kind of right, or it sounded kind of good, or you kind of said, yeah, I probably should have more water, and yeah, I probably shouldn't be relying on the government. I mean, these are things that, you know what? You are the new fucking Indian. Just remember that. They gonna kill you too. So, you just better pay attention. So anyway, the point is, radiation. You don't want to eat your food full of fucking nasty radiation. Acronym you should probably be familiarizing yourself is CCM or cesium. It's got something to do with radiation and all that kind of stuff. As I learned this, I will tell you in the next video. But I mean, you know, I've just briefed myself on fucking probably about 3 hours of information all over the place. So, alright, so yeah. Did you know the average person in the United States doesn't have $500 in the bank? This is a national standard, people. $500. The average person. That means everybody, even the ones that had a little more money than the others, are basically living paycheck to paycheck. Now, if you can't see that the goals that we had, like to get a house, to get a home, and everything will be perfect, that was a part of the dream. Why do they call it a dream? Because you got to be asleep to appreciate it. Put that in your fucking pipe and smoke it. So yeah, I mean, and they seem to keep, be herding us around like cattle, and talking as if, well, if there are riots and blah, 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 and people are saying that they're going to do this and they're going to take away people's guns. It's my perfect, I mean, they're going to try to do what they're going to try to do. I should just hope that as a people, we're more resilient, smarter, and stronger than that. Because this is some, destroying. I mean, I'm not a constitutionalist or anything, but I think that the Constitution is very important. And I think that people should be more aware of the slaughter of things that protect them. So, stay off the Jim Jones. Stay off the Jim Jones. Buy some water. Don't buy tuna. Tuna was a good idea 2 years ago. But yeah, anyway, these things have been happening